So looking at this current Bitcoin price action, we can see, guys, the price of Bitcoin has started to show weakness after losing the support from this rising trend line or the lower trend line from this ascending broadening wedge. And why? Because yesterday we found out the price of Bitcoin was choosing a trend direction without touching any of this trend line, either the top central or the bottom CPI line. There was a very high probability, more than 90% of cases, price only chooses a trend duration after testing any of these three trend lines. So in our case, the price was clearly above this trend line. We said, hey, there might be some shakeout, price coming back to test this key line first before choosing a trend duration. And in our case, since this was an ascending CPR, I mean the previous month CPR, the October CPR, you can see is lower than the new CPR for this month of November. So ascending CPR only gets formed when the price is preparing itself for a new impulsive movement. We said first there could be a retracement in between this 30,000, 33,000 range, and then slowly start with a new impulsive movement, because the coming month for Bitcoin in a bigger picture still looks very, very bullish. But what I want you guys to look at right now is this ascending channel. This ascending channel upper trend line acted as a line of resistance, whereas the lower trend line acted as a line of support. So in our case, if this is going to be a continuation pattern, price failing to find support at this lower trend line from this ascending channel, then we are expecting the price of Bitcoin to get attracted at least or in between this top or the bottom CPI line, which sits around 30,000 to 33,000 range. Yes, this is the area where we are expecting the price of Bitcoin to get gravitated if we lose the support from this ascending channel or bear flag formation. Now, if you look at this price structure around this area, it's not just only this ascending channel lower trend line, but even if you would add another falling trend line like this, you can see this falling trend line is also considered as a line of support which we have to hold, because losing this support, the line which previously acted as resistance, if it's going to fail to hold the price, then you can see this will be looked as a bearish continuation pattern, because we will be breaking the support from this previous temporary raise line, we will be breaking the support from this ascending channel, the lower trend line, and price is expected to show further continuation here to the downside, and only after that choose a trend duration, because according to this ascending broadening wedge, right, if this trend is going to show further weakness, then you can see we could get attracted around 30,000, right? This is the price opportunity from this ascending broadening wedge, and we know bigger shakeout, bigger retracement around 30,000 in a bigger picture also means the price could be retesting the support from this rising trend line, right? And even the support from this Williams alligator indicator. This Williams alligator indicator has acted as a line of support in the past price action during an uptrend. So we are also expecting the price of Bitcoin, if it's actually going to start with a new impulsive movement, then just like from the past price action, this pullback will be looked as a temporary pullback, price finding support at this Williams alligator indicator and bouncing off it like this. Yes, guys, as long as the price in a bigger picture remains above 30,000, any sort of a shakeout will be looked as a temporary shakeout, because we know retracement around 30,000, 32,000 parallelly could also mean a retest from this key line. Yes, this horizontal trend line around 30,000, 32,000 was a line of resistance in the past price action. So if we do see further shakeout, right, a worst case scenario target around 30,000, then it is going to be looked as a retest. Price simply testing the previous temporary raise line before starting with a new impulsive movement. And why new impulsive movement? Because this month, the November month CPI is a ascending CPI. Ascending CPI only gets formed when the price is preparing itself for a new impulsive movement. And in a downtrend, you can see, for example, August CPI, September CPI, right? These were all descending CPI. And this month of November is an ascending CPI. So this is definitely a sign the market sentiment is changing and people are switching from bearish to being bullish. So this is definitely something what we have to keep in our mind. But parallelly, the price of Bitcoin is definitely forming some bullish scenarios. So even if the worst case scenarios plays out, the worst case target around 30,000 plays out, it is going to be looked as a temporary pullback. And even if you look at the symmetrical triangle breakout formation, you can see after breaking here to the upside, reaching the price objective, the price of Bitcoin started showing weakness. So that means this has already played out, so we are not going to talk about it. But what we are going to talk about is this chart here. Yes, this is the best case scenario for now. This is the worst case scenario, price showing retracement in between 30,000, 32,000, and best case scenario, price getting attracted in between this 0.5, 0.618 Fibonacci line, and only after that choose a trend duration. So just like from the past price action, we are expecting the price of Bitcoin also to get attracted in between this 0.5, 0.618 Fibonacci line before deciding the trend duration, or even if it's going to be a bearish continuation. First, we are expecting the price of Bitcoin to test the resistance around 40,000. So this here is our best case scenario. These are some worst case scenario. So guys, please do not over leverage. Use proper risk management strategy. If you have that, if you are not over leveraged, then this kind of shakeout shouldn't bother you that much. So by saying this, I'm signing out. Until next time, bye bye.